Hey viewers and viewresses, my name is General Red Strategist and welcome back to Say Being Hunted, episode 657, isn't it? That's right, yeah. It's funny, actually, I nearly forgot the number then, considering I'm actually recording this one pretty shortly after the last one, actually. You know how in the last episode I basically gave you all that challenge? Go on Etsy, type in the name of your favourite franchise, whether that's a video game franchise or whatever, and just see how many pages of fan-made arts and crafts can you scroll through before you eventually start going down the rabbit hole of the strange, the risque, the raunchy, the odd, the downright bizarre, and things like that. So, I very much hinted that I was going to do it myself. I was going to search some of my favourite franchises and see how far I could go. So yeah, I just done that, and holy moly, did not take long, let's put it that way. So I'll try and flash up a few of the, should I say, safer for work things on the screen as I do this. So I typed in Rayman initially because that was the one I said I was going to do. And yeah, there's the usual stuff on there that you'd expect, like plushes, things like that. And thing is, first page, there wasn't anything risque or raunchy, but there certainly were things that looked a bit cursed. So, as I think I actually anticipated in the last episode, compared to other franchises, like Crash Bandicoot, stuff like that, there wasn't as much by way of fan-made Rayman arts and crafts, things like that, but there were a few things. And I just want to say, there's a few sort of Rayman plushes of Rayman, plushes of Glowbox, and others which, you know what, actually weren't too bad looking. There was even a really impressive one I saw of, what's-his-face from Rayman 2, the Keeper of the Cave of Bad Dreams, whatever his name is, I think it's Jano, if I remember him correctly. But let's just say there was definitely some plushes that were a bit cursed. Some of the Rayman ones, I'll flash a couple of them up on screen about now. Oh boy, they were, yeah, a bit weird looking, including the one of Rayman that has, I don't know, that looks kind of crazy, one of Rayman that looks like he's been squished through a trouser press. Very bizarre. But no, as I was searching for Rayman, there was a lot of other stuff that kept cropping up. Fan-made arts and crafts from other franchises, particularly Crash Bandicoot. And it only took me until page 2 to find some of the raunchy stuff. So yeah, very quickly I came across raunchy friggin' Torna Bandicoot stuff straight away. And as well as that, raunchy Sonic the Hedgehog stuff, particularly relating to What's-Her-Face, Rouge the Bat. And I'm only going to flash up some of the Torna Bandicoot stuff because that one was comparatively a bit safer for YouTube. But no, some of the Rouge the Bat stuff was not safe at all, let me put it that way. And like I say, it took me not that long to find it. So in the case of, searching for Rayman in search bar, it was like I say, page 2 when I started to find some of the raunchy Torna Bandicoot stuff. And then scrolling on a bit later, it was like page 5, I think, before I started finding some of the raunchy Rouge the Bat stuff. So yeah, Etsy Down the Rabbit Hole challenge went very, very well, ladies and gentlemen. I managed to find some stuff pretty quickly on there. But then I started searching again for like Ruby, stuff like that. And Ruby, I was surprised by how little there actually is on there that's truly risque. I mentioned obviously that there was a Dakimakura that I'd seen, which was Ruby Rose. Also, I actually did clarify between episodes, and I'll probably have put an annotation in the previous episode as well. Volume 6 onward Ruby is canonically 17, so yeah, even if it's not a full-on hentai body pillow, just bear in mind, she's technically not even 18, that character. Just to be, absolutely clear about that, in case there's any doubt whatsoever. But no, eventually, I started coming across things like Pira Nikos, body pillows. Again, not hentai, ecchi, but again, even canonically, Pira Nikos isn't 18. Because obviously, I think pretty much by volume 3, when, spoiler alert, she dies, pretty sure she's still only 17, I do believe. So that was a thing. But yeah, then again, Ruby, I think I scrolled through just under 10 pages of Ruby fan-made arts and crafts on Etsy. And yeah, surprised by how little actually truly risque or raunchy stuff there actually was. But having said that, as I scroll through, I did come across some more interesting stuff as well. Stuff that actually is genuinely awesome and well made. There's one I came across, it was Spyro the Dragon. There was quite a bit of stuff for that franchise as well. And there was a really awesome one that I came across as Spyro the Dragon, which was basically sort of like a dragon skull. Spyro the Dragon skull. Not that I'm sure who would be buying it necessarily, but it was really well made, actually looking at it. And so I saw that. And as I was actually scrolling, I came across stuff for another franchise, which I haven't actually thought about in years, but which as soon as I saw it, I thought, oh, there's gotta be risque, weird stuff for that franchise, right? And the franchise, of course, was Jak and Daxter. Remember Jak and Daxter? The PlayStation games? Because the thing about Jak and Daxter was, they had a fair number of, how should I say, female characters who clearly were designed, I think, to an extent probably with a bit of the male gaze in mind, to put it that way. You know, like Kira, and what's she called? Tess, as well, I think. And so I decided to put Jak and Daxter into the search bar as well. Surprisingly, no, there wasn't really anything raunchy there. Granted, I don't think I scrolled through all the pages, but maybe Jak and Daxter just isn't as well remembered as other franchises. So as a result, maybe, you know, in that case, there just isn't as much. Do you have to come over here while that alarm clock's going off, buddy? Clearly he has to, doesn't he? Just when I want to get over here and get this device piece. So, Jak and Daxter looks like it's fairly maintained a bit of its innocence and purity, to put it that way. Hasn't been corrupted, at least based on what I saw. But of course, Sonic the Hedgehog, Crash Bandicoot, they have been corrupted, basically. Must say though, actually, going back to the Rayman plushes, because I mentioned as well, it wasn't just plushes of Rayman that there were also ones of Glowbox. And, you know, there was one of Glowbox that I did see which was actually quite well made, but there were other ones which were less well made, including one that I will actually flash up on the screen about here, that also, again, kind of cursed looking. So, if I was Kid Icarus, who knows, maybe I'd do a video on it. Cursed fan-made arts and crafts for various video game franchises that you can find on Etsy or whatever. So yes, that was a little Etsy challenge. Rather than a challenge conducted in episode, it was a challenge conducted between episodes of Sir You're Being Hunted. But yes, if anyone did take me up on my challenge in the last episode, obviously as when I record this I won't have seen it yet, but I may well have already responded to your comments if you left any on the previous episode and all that. So, but if you didn't leave it on the previous episode, just let me know. I'm sure you found something and all that. But like I said, you know, like I took very great pains to say in the last episode, I'm not judging anyone. At the end of the day, you're not necessarily doing anything illegal. If you want to do, you know, buy these things and have them in the privacy of your own home, that's up to you and all that. You know, people have kinks, okay? People have fetishes, and that's absolutely fine. As long as you're not hurting anybody, as long as it's all consensual between adults, you can do what you want. So, let me just get my torch out. There we are. Oh my god, that's a lot of bandages. I actually do need to find food items. Otherwise, I'm going to be in a bit of trouble, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think this has many villages on it, this island, does it? Okey-doke. I'm trying to remember what else did I see on Etsy that may or may not have been kind of a bit weird. As usual, just lots and lots of enamel pins. I mentioned last episode, enamel pins seem to be a very popular thing. And yeah, it was absolutely the same on, you know, when I was looking at Rayman, for instance, and Crash Bandicoot and various franchises like that. Just lots and lots of enamel pins. People really love their enamel pins and all that, which actually I kind of understand, because they're really easy, simple things to get. They probably don't cost all that much. You know, you just stick them on your bag or whatever. Collect as many as you can. You see, enamel pins are actually kind of collectible, really, aren't they? You can collect loads and loads of them, and then just, you know, showcase them off. Show them to your friends. Show them to your colleagues. Show them how much of a big geek for certain franchises you actually are, and all that. Again, not judging. because I myself am quite a geek for certain franchises. Ugh. Oh god, right, that's the edge of the friggin' world right there. I was about to say, come on alarm clock, can you go off please? And there we go. Perfectly timed. Alright, let's go in here, get this bad boy. Yeah. You know, sometimes it's hard to do commentary and actually play the game in the background properly. This is something which I'm sure many of you are familiar with, having watched a lot of YouTubers out there who play video games on the old tube and all that. It's funny when I'm sort of doing these kind of podcast style episodes how sometimes I always have sort of big gaps and pauses in what I'm saying, or you know how sometimes I stumble because things are happening in game that keep distracting me. It's like I'm trying to concentrate on, you know, multitasking, concentrating on the game at the same time as I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to say. And it often does result in either awkward pauses or moments where I completely fumble my lines, say the wrong thing entirely. Well, the curse of playing video games on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, that's what it is. Right, do we want to go back to the centre? I think we do, since we got all the pieces on this island. At this rate, I'm going to have done a default playthrough of the game and all that. Shall I think of a new challenge to do, just to interrupt the flow of it? Red's about to clear out the final couple of islands on this map, but then suddenly decides, nope, we're doing a challenge. We're shelving this map entirely. I'm sure that'd trigger a few people, wouldn't it? Or would it? I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't. I've no idea. What are those guys doing over there? Are they having a shootout? Looks like they are. Having one of their robot feuds. Ooh, hey. What are you doing, buddy? Alright, hang on. You're going that way. If I keep going this way, we'll be fine. Alright then. You're not out of here, buddy. Off you go. There we go. On another topic, though, actually, come to think of it. Something more kind of channel related this time. Something not to do with the Etsy rabbit hole, because I've talked everything. I've said everything I want to say about that. No, channel news, because obviously, again, last episode I was talking about games that I want to play on the channel. I was actually revisiting recently Markiplier's Scary Games playlist, and in particular, I was going back right to the start of that playlist to sort of random indie horror games that he's played, 10 or 11 years ago, because I want to get back, obviously, to doing more small indie horror games. And I was thinking, there's obviously always ones I could get from itch.io and Game Jolt, which are fairly up to date. But actually watching some of those videos in Markiplier's old Scary Games playlist really gave me some ideas for older indie games that I actually think, you know what, that looks kind of interesting. I'll stop watching and I'll make a note of it somewhere to actually play it myself. Because the thing is, you know how unoriginal I am on this channel. I never do anything original and all that. I just sort of do boring Let's Plays and whatever else have you, and take inspiration from other people's content in terms of, oh, that looks like an interesting game, I'll play that. So that's what I was doing. Markiplier's Scary Games playlist is actually a good way of getting some inspiration just for random indie horror games that I could maybe have a look for online, see if I can download them, and then maybe play them on the channel. Because Lord knows, I feel like indie horror games from about sort of 2012, 2013, around about there, a lot of them, of course, were made in engines like Unity. I think a lot of old Unity games from back in the day always have like a very unique vibe or look to them. So, hence why I think it'd be interesting to play some more of them and all that. Did I just hear a hound? Yes, but I think he's running away somewhere else. Oops. Oh, you would have been nice to friggin' show up. It would have been nice to see you show up even. In that friggin' one challenge I did with Phil not too long ago, where hunting pheasants was one of the things I had to do, whatever it was. Right, looking at time, I really need to get back to the standing stones and deposit these device pieces. And then I need to wrap up the episode, so I can actually go and start cooking my evening meal. Oh god. Gas for my tea. Coming up my throat, there we are. Thinking for my evening meal tonight, I'm just going to do myself maybe some sausage, a bit of hash brown. I got some eggs actually that need eating up, so I might do some fried eggs. Oh shit. There be fucking robots everywhere, and they're all being bitches. I'm out. See ya. You're not going to get me. You're not going to crack my eggs, buddy. Ow. There we go. Don't you dare, okay? Wherever you are. Just get out of here. I've got places to go, things to do, people to see, games to record, random topics to talk about. Right, boom, done. Saved game. Fantastic. Top balls to you. Right, I'll do my outro here while I'm running away. Because then I can just quit out. And when I load in, they'll be gone. Well, load in next time, assuming I do come back to this map. Facebook do links are down below, along with the links to my propagandist channel for anyone interested. And if you enjoyed, a like is of course always appreciated. But other than that, I'm signing off now. See ya, boys. You're not going to get me. Goodbye, all. So to get shit. Those two jobs. Hey! Shit. Get you out. Then you get to drop it. Try some move around. Now's an action. Yep. How many shots do you take from this weapon? Let's see. 2. Yep. 3. Okay, it's not bad. On C96. Full would pack a bit more of a punch, but yeah, it'll do. Extra gun, maybe just stop an ammo for it for a bit. Oh, this game's giving me a lot of MP40 stuff, isn't it? It really is.
It's full.
Yeah, can't carry any more ammo.